What's up, y'all? It's me, it's your boy Asmongold, and today I'm going to show you guys how to solo Glory of the Firelands Raider. Now, we're doing this all on 25-man heroic to show how easy this is. And it really is easy. My gear sucks, right? In this video, I think it's like 650 or like 644 or something like that. And I'm doing this on 25-man heroic while at the same time doing the meta achievements also. Now, the first boss we're going to be looking at here is Beth'Tilac, and we're going to be doing her on 25-man heroic, as I said before, and that will be the same for all the bosses. And we'll also be doing Death from Above. Here's how you get Death from Above. If she spawns an ad called the Cinderweb drone, you don't kill it. If you kill her and you don't kill a Cinderweb drone, you get the achievement. It's really simple. So we're going to go into the strategy of actually how to kill her very easily as a solo player. Now, the spinners can be very annoying, and that's why I recommend for as soon as you start the fight, as soon as you engage her, spinners will come down. Go ahead and kill the spinners. If you're melee, you can taunt them, and they'll come down to melee range. As soon as one of them dies, you click on the little web thing. It's going to take you up to where Beth'Tilac's web is. Now she's going to have like little meteors that come down, and if the meteors come down and hit you, they're going to spawn on top of you. Watch. See, there's one on me right now. I move out of it. If I don't move out of it, it drops me down to the bottom, and the reason that that's a problem is that then the spinners will stun me indefinitely, and I will die. And so you want to make sure that you do not let that happen. Okay, so you want to make sure that you do not go back to the bottom until it's absolutely necessary. And so at 20%, what Beth'Tilac is going to do, or like 5% or 10%, something like that, whenever she's very low health, you want to pop all your cooldowns and make sure that you kill her before she reaches the bottom here. And the reason for that is that the spinners will stun you, and also those spiderlings there will heal her. But if you kill her as a transition from the top to the bottom, that's not going to happen. And so this is how you make that heroic Beth'Tilac a complete fucking joke. Those are the ads from heroic mode. Did you guys even see those? No, they don't even fucking matter. Like you don't even need to worry about those. As I said before, just make sure that whenever you do come down, I pop Bladestorm, because Bladestorm makes me immune to stuns. If you're a paladin, use Bubble. Use anything that makes you immune to stuns or anything like that. You can also Trinket just for a second. Make sure you have dots on her though, and get her as low health as possible. That's really all it takes. Next boss we're going to be looking at here is Rhyolith, and we're also going to be doing not an Ambi-Turner. And basically that means that you make it to where you only turn him, what was it? Yeah, I'm trying to remember if you only turn him right or left. I think you only turn him right. Yeah, so you only attack the right foot. That's correct. So the strategy here is that he's got like a little bar, as you guys can see in the middle of my screen right below my character. And you want to make sure that that bar never goes to the left, okay? Because as you can see, there's like a little white line. There's like one bar of it to the right there. If it goes to the left, you fail the achievement. It's real fucking simple. Now, he can walk straight, and that happens all the time. But as long as you're equally damaging the 2 feet, he'll never walk to the left. And you want to make sure it's really simple. You just make sure that he runs, that he's always turning in a circle in a right direction. You just attack the right foot, and you're never going to have a problem here. The heroic mode mechanics are really kind of irrelevant. And honestly, with any sort of normal DPS, you should be able to damage him down without worrying about the volcanoes too much. I guess like if you want to get really fancy and you're not able to do this on heroic and normal, if you're doing it on heroic and you're not going for the achievement, you can make him run into the volcanoes, which will make him take more damage, because normally Rhyolith takes 80% less damage from players, and so that's kind of a pain in the ass. Also, if he runs into the lava that's all around him, like at the edge of his platform there, he'll turn around and breathe on you and do a little bit more fire damage. The sparks of Rhyolith explode over a period of time, and the volcanoes put a stacking debuff that makes you take more fire damage. And as you can see here, even with my shitty gear, and at about 20%, by the way, whenever you get the feat to about 20%, he's going to go into his last phase, which is basically just a victory lap, and you just kill him again, and it's not even a big deal. Like, look, now he's in his second phase, he doesn't take any like reduced damage, and there he's fucking dead. He doesn't even get up. He doesn't even get up, and he's fucking dead. So that's how easy this one is. And again, we're doing some 25-man heroic. So if you're having DPS problems, just switch it down to 10, and you're going to have no problem. Just attack the right foot and make sure he doesn't turn left. How simple is that? Okay, the next one that we're going to be looking at here, now this is one of the ones that a lot of people had trouble with back in Mists, and also especially in Cataclysm, which is do a barrel roll, okay? And I'm going to be doing this one on 25-man too, and the way that we're going to be handling this is we're going to be ignoring basically all of the mechanics except for one. And that mechanic that we will have to deal with is the little circles that Alysrazor puts around you whenever you're flying runner. Now you guys might not know this, but I've got a Super Nintendo behind me, and I was a Star Fox fucking champion whenever I was 6 years old. And so this boss fight is not a problem to me. But if you guys do have any sort of trouble with it, I'll show you exactly what needs to happen. Now we're also going to be using, because Alysrazor gives you a buff, right? We're going to be using that buff, and we're going to take that buff over to heroic Baleroc, who can actually still be a cock in the ass, even at level 100. And so we're going to use that buff, and we're going to kill Baleroc in about 20 seconds after Alysrazor is about to die. And so I'll show you. Actually, no, I think I do kill her. So as soon as you start the fight, I'll explain this fight, and then I'll talk about Baleroc in a couple of seconds here. Now, do a barrel roll. The idea here is that you don't get hit by any of her different mechanics. If you get hit by her frontal cleave here, as you can see, she does like a cleave in front of her whenever she's molting. That doesn't count for the for failing the achievement. Never jump down. If you get a tornado phase, what the fuck are you doing? You get a tornado phase. It's so easy. Like, you can auto attack her, and you're not going to need to worry about that if you can avoid the circles or the little incendiary clouds. So as you can see, I'll explain that. She's going to cast 2 incendiary clouds, which are the red circles there, and she's going to cast 1 ring. Now you have to run through the rings. Every ring that you run through gives you increased haste at 23%. No, I think 24 or 23. I don't remember. Stacks of this buff. You're going to gain another buff that gives you basically like 50% more critical strike chance, and this buff lasts for like 30 seconds or something like that. And so that's how we're going to use it to finish off Heroic Baleroc. Now, if you run too far away from Alysrazor, sometimes she'll despawn. Now, if she places a ring that's pretty far away from you, like that one there, you can kind of watch out a little bit. Now, you're not going to be taking any other damage aside from whenever she does Firestorm, if you're doing this on Heroic. But besides that, you're going to be taking any damage. So if your health isn't at 100%, you probably hit a cloud. But if the odds are you can't even tell whenever you hit a cloud, you're going to have some problems doing this achievement to begin with. And so again, just make sure that you have your spell detail turned up to where you can see those clouds easily, and make sure you're not standing on top of her so she doesn't spawn one on top of you and you automatically fail the achievement. On Heroic, she casts Firestorm. This is what Firestorm does. It does no fucking damage and you just get free attacks on her, and it doesn't matter. On 25-man Heroic, as I said before, the only reason I dragged the fight out for as long as I did was to get full stacks of the buff to where I could use it on Baleroc. I could have ended this fight a whole lot earlier, and right now I think I've got like a 661 or 665, something like that, item level, and I could do it so much faster even now just with that little boost of gear. And so my gear, comparatively, I have fucking blues in this video, and it's not even a problem, guys. Do not even worry. Like, this is going to be not an issue for y'all. Okay, and so anyway, just avoid these clouds, alright? Now, there's the lava worms down at the bottom. Those fail the achievement. Well, guess what? You're up in the air. What the fuck do you care? You're a bird. What the fuck do you care about worms? You're a bird. Okay, you literally eat worms, but don't eat the fire because then you fail the achievement. Okay, so as you can see, I just got the buff, killed Alysrazor. I'm not even worrying about the mount. Okay, I already have it, but if I didn't have it, I still wouldn't have gone and loot him. So I've still got this buff, and make sure that you go over because there's a big like wall there, invisible wall, and I lost a little bit of time there, as you can see. And you come down to Baleroc. I'm popping a potion here because I'm just about to go big dick on Baleroc. Look at this damage, 1,000,000. A million. Look at this. Oh my god. Look at that. 500,000. A million. Look at this. Look at his health going down. Does it even matter what spells he's casting? No, none of this even matters. Just pop every single fucking cooldown and burn him down, and he will probably be dead by the time your buff goes away. If your buff doesn't go away by the time he's dead, you probably should rethink your rotation. Also, he puts that crystal next to you, and the crystal makes you take more magic damage. That doesn't really become an issue until like he casts Inferno Blade, and if you're using this strategy, you'll probably be able to damage him down before you even cast Inferno Blade. Again, if you're having DPS problems, you can do this on Tin Man, where he has less than half as much health. Now, this is the achievement that a lot of people have trouble with, and this is bucket list, alright? You have to get Shannox to run around the entire Firelands, since you've got to clear a ton of trash. And so the first place that I'm pulling him at is right next to Beth'Tilac's lair. And so I pull him, and there's 5 different locations he needs to be. The Path of Corruption is the first one, okay? And so as soon as you get him to the Path of Corruption, you can turn him around. He usually doesn't daze you. I've never had him daze me or anything like that. Now here's the thing. A lot of people have been having trouble with this. So if you guys ask me this question, I might actually get a little mad because I've answered this like a million times. If you are not in a tank spec, listen, if you're not in a tank spec, Rage Face is going to stun you. And unless you have a dot on him or some way to break that stun via damage, you will die. That's all there is to it. He will stun you, and there's basically no way to kill Shannox unless you have some sort of a tank spec, or you can put a dot on Rage Face, okay? And having to run around without being on your mount, it's a huge pain in the ass. I figured we could look at the scenery while I jump around. I also got him right to that little area there where I had like Beth'Tilac's lair, where it said Beth'Tilac's lair on the screen. And if you pull him right inside there, it'll give you credit for bringing him to Beth'Tilac's lair. It's real simple. Also, I should have killed this Molten Giant, but I didn't. The Flame Breach is the third place that we're going to be taking him to. Again, you can track this achievement. I read that this achievement used to be very easily trackable, but I also read that people were having trouble with tracking it in 6.0.2, and so I don't know if that's been changed, but I have a pretty good feeling that fixing Firelands achievement tracking is not very high on their priority list, considering Razorgore from BWL was broken for 4 years. And so don't get too excited, but either way, just make sure that he runs to the places that I show. I'm also going to show a mini map inside the video, and it's going to have all the little dots of where you guys need to be. And so in case it's not completely clear, I'm going to make it even more clear, okay? And so the next place that you have to take him to is like the ramp up to where Rhyolith is, okay? And so that's really simple. As you can see, I forgot even what it's called, the Ridge of Ancient Flame, okay? And so as soon as he gets up here, you take him to the last spot, which is going to be the Shatterstone, I think that's the name of it, and that's where Alysrazor is. And so I figured Alysrazor, like, this is how we did it back whenever, like, Firelands was actually hard. It was like the 4.2. It was a very long time ago. And this is actually where we fought him, because it's a wide open circular area. And so as soon as you bring him over here, you should get credit for all 5 of the different locations that you have to take him to, and then you can just kill the boss normally. Now again, if you don't have a tank spec, this is extremely hard, and my best advice to you would be get somebody with a tank spec or get a tank alt. This boss is extremely easy to kill. It does relatively no damage, and it doesn't even matter like any of the things that he casts. He also, I think he used to cast a trap on you that would stun you. I don't think he casts that on you if you're a tank either, and so make sure that you are aware of that. If a trap spawns on you, it's called Crystal Prison, and it looks just like a hunter trap, and so if that happens, be aware of it, but I don't think that it will. Either way, so again, to avoid the stun from Rage Face, you have to be in tank spec. If you're not in tank spec, Rage Face is going to stun you. Very simple. And so anyway, he also drops a lot of loot. He drops like 9 pieces of loot. Anyway, so the next guy that we're going to be looking at here is Majordomo Staghelm. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find another video online or something like that, and if I can't find one that's good enough, I'll make my own of how to actually complete the Only the Penitent achievement here. But long story short, you need 3 people to run on each side of Majordomo's platform, and whenever you run over there, there's going to be these little orbs, and you have to actually like sit down, and if you don't sit down, it's like super annoying, especially to coordinate with morons. Like we fucked this up like I don't even know how many times back in progression. I mean, honestly, it was like 3, but it was still kind of ridiculous. But either way, you just have to sit down or kneel down, and you can't be on a mount or anything like that. I read some places that hunter pets sometimes fail it for you, and then like they fixed it, and then maybe they broke it again. I don't really know what the status on that is, but as a general rule, make sure that you you get rid of all your pets. And so they'll be on the 2 sides of where I am. I'll be fighting Majordomo in a specific spot, and where I'm fighting him is where one of the orbs is going to be. And so you just have 3 people on each side. Go ahead and just sit there and click the orbs all at the same time. And so the best way to do that is to coordinate that through Mumble or some kind of other voice chat system. Now, Majordomo is very easy to solo, but he does have a lot of health. And so also, if you have our pet class, he does 3 times as much damage to pets. And you guys can thank whatever the guild that thought that they could tank him with a turtle and avoid all of this AoE damage, because turtles don't take AoE damage or something like that. But either way, so if your pet is taking extra damage, that's why. I think that that mechanic is also applicable to Baleroc too, but I'm not entirely sure. Either way, so because I have second wind and everything else, I am literally going to stand here in the fire and raid boss him down like it's just nothing, okay? This guy is just a target dummy. Now, whenever he reaches 100 energy, what he's going to do is he's going to jump on you and he's going to put fire on the ground. And he's also going to summon a Spirit of the Flame. Now, Spirit of the Flame is just like kind of an illusion of himself, like a mage mirror image. You can kill them, or you can let them build up. If you're a tank, you can let them build up for, like, if you're a warrior or something like that, for, like, revenge procs or something like that. But I guess considering revenge cleaves to other targets, that probably wouldn't work too well. Either way, the point is that you can go ahead and just kill this guy standing in just like one place, honestly, especially if you have any sort of leech gear. Like I have second wind, and so in old raids, it's basically second wind. Or sorry, second wind. I can't believe I messed that up. Actually, I can. But either way, second wind is really good for old raids. And so is any sort of life leech at all. So like if you're a warlock, you want to use, what's that talent? The soul link, because I think it gives you 10% life leech. And so use any sort of life leech that you have. I think rogues have that also with their poisons. And so make sure that you're using that. If you have any sort of life leech, you can basically auto attack this motherfucker down. Now, the more stacks he has, the faster he does the jumps. And the bar that you have on your screen is relatively, it doesn't matter, because if he hits you, your bar goes to 0. And if your bar goes to 0, it doesn't matter. And so unless you're doing this with a pet or something like that, don't really worry about the bar. But if you are doing with a pet, if you take no damage and your bar gets all the way to full, you do double damage. Okay, you do 100% extra damage. And so it scales up also. And so make sure that if you are doing this with the pet, make sure that you're always moving whenever he does the jump over to you. And if you're moving while he does the jump, he will not hit you with the fire, that the fire won't tick on you. And so either way, I think you have to have a 108% movement speed for that. Maybe you don't. I honestly don't remember. That was kind of a while ago. That's like meta strats from 3 years ago. And so I'm not entirely sure. What it really comes down to, guys, is that you can kite him around the room to stay out of the fire if it's too much damage. Make sure that you can cleave down the ads if the ads are becoming overwhelming. Just kind of do all the common sense stuff. But other than that, this boss is going to go down without really much trouble at all. And so anyway, what I figured I'd do at the end of this, because this is the end of it, that's all the achievements you need to do. Just make sure you do them all on Heroic, and also do those meta achievements that are not Heroic requirement. Also, now you can get this mount here. Now this is the Flame Talon of Alysrazor. Now this is a 1% drop chance from Alysrazor, and so you can get this maybe as like a little bonus if you get the what do you call it? If you get the mount from Alysrazor. But if you don't, then I'll show you guys actually the mount that you get from actually completing Glory of the Firelands Raider, which is the Corrupted Fireblood or Firehawk, something like that. It's a purple Firehawk. That's what it is, and as you can see, it's actually pretty majestic. And so it runs around. It also flies. I'm in Firelands, and so you guys can kind of figure out that it flies around. Okay, it's got really big wings. So either way, guys, that's all it takes to get the achievements. If you have any questions on, have any confusions, if I didn't make something clear to you, go ahead and ask me, and I'll kind of, I guess, like try and let you know to the best of my ability. But either way, thanks for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe.